The Citizens Network for Peace and Development of Nigeria, a group of southern leaders, has expressed strong support for FCT Minister Ezenwo Wike amid the political crisis in his home state of Rivers. After a meeting in Abuja, they commended Wike's performance, stating that he has allowed his successor, Governor Siminalayi Fubara, to manage Rivers State independently. The group criticized opposition efforts against Wike, attributing them to individuals wanting to maintain the old order for personal gain. Chief Raphael Okorie, national coordinator of CNPDN, praised Wike's achievement in 9 months as FCT minister, surpassing those of former ministers over 8 years. He also urged patience with President Bola Tinubu, highlighting Wike's significant infrastructure developments in Abuja. Okorie noted that Wike remains undistracted by the Rivers crisis and is focused on developing the capital. The leaders emphasized the positive impact of Tinubu and Wike's leadership, mentioning improvements in infrastructure, economic stability, and foreign direct investment. Now, Mr. Chuba, what is your immediate reaction to this statement by this group?
My immediate reaction is very simple and straight. Like we will always say, it is my personal opinion, like the opinion of the organization that gathered themselves to go and appraise the minister. It is their opinion, it is their views. But one will begin to wonder from what spectrum are they making their analysis? Because if you talk about it, I think they just contradicted themselves. With all due respect to Mr. Okorie, they contradicted themselves by saying the former governor of this state, the present FCT minister, has allowed his successor to manage the state's resources and all independently without trying to interrupt. And on the second hand, he said the crisis in Rivers State is not disturbing the minister. What crisis do we have in Rivers State if the crisis are not self-inflicted? And to a large extent, when you talk about infrastructure development, if you read through the entire report, you feel that it's so embarrassing, so insulting to the sensibility of the Nigerian populace. You begin to ask yourself, these people are so supposedly called exposed persons. They are supposedly called elites. They are supposedly called the leaders of this nation, who for one reason or the other, whether for entertainment, for vacation, for self-aggrandizement, for health issues, they've traveled out of the shores of this country. Is it the kind of infrastructures that people, where they go, the people have with the kind of humongous funds that have been dissipated into such projects? So it is embarrassingly shameful when you see adults who, by the virtue of life's arrangement and expectancies, whether you like it or yes, even if you live 120 years, you're not going to live forever. A time is going to come where you're going to close your eyes in death, and your stay on this part of eternity is over. People should be able to say truth to power. People should be able to at least chart a different course. We cannot continue on this psychophancy that we are running among the streets with. To what end are there was the Korea and his group talking about the developmental strides of the FCT minister in respect to the Tinubu administration? We all are part of this system of elections that we saw here in 2023, and this is the outcome of it. This is our present day economic reality. We should stop this psychophancy of trying to just sing people's praises. I mean, I do not know where the rationales upon which some scorecards have been dashed out here and there. It is a shameful and embarrassing process. When you say Southern leaders, you can begin to ask yourself, to what end, who are they and what are their pedigrees in respect to both leadership and the struggles of the Southern people of Nigeria? In what capacity, apart from being there, the fact that maybe they have been assisted by one crony or the other, giving some offices to handle, mismanage them as it were. We have had 614 corruption charges in this country from 2009 up until date. 614 humongous corruption charges. Only 3 have been treated to logical conclusion. Only 3. And in the midst of all of this, we're talking about our national patrimony being fleeced out by people who have been opportune to be in offices. There's some funny characters who just come out and be telling the world or telling people things that we think we don't. Listen, the truth remains what it is. I have said this and I will keep saying it. There's always, the Bible says, surely there is an end. And the expectation of the people that are righteous, supposedly righteous, will not be cut off. The truth remains that we are playing with so much, and we just see adults who think that nothing would happen. Everybody just comes out to say whatever they like to say, act in whatever manner they want to act, insult our sensibility over and over again. I want to ask you a very simple question. The crisis in Rivers State, where did it emanate from? If there is no crisis in River State, why do you bother to say somebody? I think there is a crisis in River State. So from where is Genesis and where is it leading us to? Then you are telling us that somebody has allowed his predecessor to act on that. It is embarrassing and it is painful.
If I may ask, because when we were making your statement, you talked about, you very briefly touched on their statement with regards to the infrastructural developments by the FCT minister in Abuja. Are you saying that the developments, there are no developments exactly? What is your point with regards to that?
In fairness to you, I won't pretend to tell you. I've always told you we are public analysts who come here to guide public opinions. From where the FCT minister met the FCT, and for the projects he has put on ground today, it is unarguably a fact that a lot of people have applauded him to that end. And most of the people coming out to do an applaud, I keep telling people, you are paid to clean this place and you are cleaning it. Or you clean it shabbily. Because some people that have been there do not even bother to clean. So because you have cleaned it shabbily now, you want all of us to come praising you. That's not the job of the public.
You're saying that the infrastructural developments are shabbily done.
The infrastructural development that we are talking about there in FCT as it is today are obviously developmental strides, no doubt about it. But to what end? What's it called? Factoring the developmental strides or the structures you are talking about on ground and to the funds that have been allocated for those projects, do they match international? Do they match present day statistics and realities? The truth remains that we have failed to make people listen. I tell people, I give people a very sarcastic analogy, which I will share now. If you go to a place to visit your uncle with a friend, and you do not know what the uncle gave to you guys as thanks for coming, and on your way your friend tells you, man, my uncle gave us 10,000 naira, and he gives you 4,000. You are happy because you went there, possibly with a very open heart, without even knowing. But I can assure you that friend will be a very good friend, if not your best, because you have looked at it that he has given you 40% out of 100. But at the end of the day, when you get to know...
Is this something you can substantiate?
Of course, yes.
You can substantiate.
I want to ask you very simple.
Because right now you're making an allegation, even though veiled as an innuendo.
I want to ask you a very simple question. The project of the road constructed, the kilometers of road constructed, even whether they want to release that to public domain or not, is correct or wrong, I think you have access to those amounts. Then you juxtapose it to places where the same projects of these kilometers of road have been done in other climes. And you ask yourself, that is why I tell people very simply, we are not praise singers of government. We ought to put government on our toes. And if government is even trying in any way, yes, as we say government, you have done well. We know that government has left 99 yet undone, and that 99 should be eroded so that government should understand that so much needs to be done, and nobody should sit on his ass. What we are saying here, and what I'm saying here very categorically is this. You cannot come out and start applauding people under this administration at a time as such. It is an insult to our collective sensibility. There's a reality on ground, my dear. There is nothing called 200 naira pepper in the market anymore. There's no place you can buy fuel below 600 naira. Today, people's what's it called, minimum wage cannot even pay for their utility bill of power per month. And we're talking about, we're coming to public space to come and applaud people and discuss issues and say, look, I've always said it. We're not coming to make friends. We're not coming to make enemies. We're coming to state the obvious and let people understand that what they are doing, if they call themselves so-called leaders, I call them so-called. Because age has not made anybody a leader. Most of these people are an outright disgrace to the Nigerian state. And it's a pity that this is where we found ourselves.
Okay. Mr. George, what is your take?
Well, I must say that I want to depart from what he is saying and disagree a bit. I understand his challenges when it comes to what is happening in Nigeria today. But I must say that when someone has done well, it is important to give the person praises so that the person will do more. He was talking about if the money used in constructing those projects were commensurate with the project, if you juxtapose it to other claims. You also know that there's no two claims that is the same. There are other factors, peculiarities that makes this thing to differ. People had been there prior to this time. Those projects were not awarded in the last 8 months. And they left it undone. Someone came with the passion to ensure that this project, knowing the importance of this project to the Nigerian people, decided to embark on this project. And today, those projects are reality. People are using it. And you say we should not give praise to such a person. I don't believe in that school of thought. We understand that the Nigerian nation has been bedeviled with so many lack of leadership in the past. So because of that, most Nigerians, like he said, our sensibilities are being insulted on a daily basis. But there are still those who are exceptional. They may have bad, beginning, or sorry, they may have had, some kind of challenges in their previous post. But wherever someone has done well, I am of the view that the person should be given praises. Because if the person had not done that thing and had gone the way of the others, we'll keep crying, and we'll keep crying. So if someone had come to do something, why can't we give him praise? The man would have decided to go the way of the others. And probably, like he said, over 600 corrupt cases, only 2 or 3, according to him, has been, given accelerated hearing and, at the end concluded. The others are still hanging. These same persons would have also decided to toe the same line, let the matter keep hanging in the court. And Nigerians keep suffering. So me, I'm of the view that the group that praised the minister for the work he has done, they have done well for praising the minister. I have been to Abuja in the from February to this day, I've been to Abuja 3 times. I have witnessed firsthand. I'm not talking about hearsay. I've witnessed some of the projects. One of them is this rail transit. All this while that project had been there, lying fallow. Today, that project is functional. Don't we know the importance of that in our transportation system? Was that project awarded in the last 8 months? No. People had failed to see it through. And someone has come to make sure that this thing is... Wike has not done that project for himself. He has done that project for the use by Nigerians. So in our culture, it is right to give praises where it is due. If the same Wike had come to do something that is bad, and he's coming here to criticize him, I wouldn't have any challenge with that. Because like he said, it is our common patrimony, our collective patrimony. And this man we are choosing among the many people in this country to lead. Because at some point, someone must lead. So if someone has gone out of his way to do something right, to achieve something great, no matter how little, something that was hitherto that was not there, and it is beneficial to the development of the country, my brother, I don't think there's anything wrong in giving praises to such a person. Right. So I think the group is in order to have given their praises. Right. But then, like I keep saying, my own personal philosophy, the beating will continue until morale improves. We are not yet there as a nation, as a people. We will keep striving. Wike will not be there forever. He will be there for maybe 2 years, 3 years, 4 years or more, depending on how the president who has appointed him wants him to function. Someday he will live there, another person will come. If the person comes, he should build on whatever achievement Wike has achieved. And gradually we'll get to El Dorado. Right. Not even the years that have gotten there.
All right.